Your phone is a bank. For 1.7 billion people, that statement is still a fantasy. But in Kenya, it's a decade-old reality. While Silicon Valley was perfecting the like button, Kenyans were sending cash through text messages, building a financial system that leapfrogged the entire developed world. They called it M-Pesa, and every expert got the story backwards. They credit the technology, the clever business model, the regulatory luck, but they miss the real engine. The operating system written not in code, but in social trust, a system forged a millennium ago along the Swahili coast. To see it, you have to understand the problem that wasn't supposed to be solvable. In 2007, Kenya was a financial desert. Banks served the urban elite. For everyone else, cash under the mattress. Sending money to family in a rural village meant a dangerous, day-long bus ride with a wad of bills. The friction was immense, the cost predatory. Then the mobile network, Safaricom, launched a simple tool, M-Pesa. Pesa means money in Swahili. It was shockingly basic. No smartphones, no apps, just SMS. You'd deposit cash at a corner kiosk, which converted it to digital value. Then you could text that value to anyone with a phone. They'd cash out at their local kiosk. Within 18 months, 5 million people, 20% of the country, were using it. Today, it processes over half of Kenya's GDP. Economists call it a miracle, but miracles don't scale. Systems do. So they looked for the system in the obvious places, the brilliant mobile airtime model, the light touch regulation. But here's where the story fractures. They tried to copy-paste M-Pesa everywhere. South Africa, India, Eastern Europe. It failed repeatedly. The same technology, the same business plan crashed into a wall of indifference. Because they were copying the visible machinery and ignoring the invisible foundation. The real foundation wasn't in Nairobi's boardrooms. It was in the ancient Swahili trading networks, a lattice of trust stretching from Mogadishu to Mozambique. For 1,000 years, the Swahili coast operated on a system called hawala, an informal value transfer based not on legal contracts, but on familial and social bonds. A merchant in Mombasa could receive goods from Zanzibar, and payment would be settled through a chain of trusted intermediaries, recorded in personal ledgers, not bank vaults. The social fabric was the ledger. M-Pesa didn't create a new network, it digitized an old one. The corner kiosk agent? He's the modern incarnation of the trusted village elder or the coastal trade intermediary. The texted value? It's the digital hawala receipt. The explosive trust wasn't in Safaricom, it was in the neighbor running the kiosk, embedded within a culture where informal credit and remote value exchange were already a deep cultural grammar. This is legibility meets requisite variety. The state saw an illegible, informal economy. They wanted to formalize it, to make it legible to tax and control. But M-Pesa succeeded because it didn't force formality. It provided a legible digital layer on top of the deeply complex, high-variety social trust network. It adapted to the culture, not the other way around, which reveals the brutal truth for every Silicon Valley disruptor. Technology alone is inert. It only catalyzes what already exists. You can deploy an app in a week. You cannot deploy a 1,000-year-old social trust framework. M-Pesa found a society pre-adapted to digital finance. The West, with its legacy of checking accounts and credit scores, was ironically less adapted. The final devastating twist is a Cobra Effect in reverse. Britain colonized Kenya and imposed its formal centralized banking system, dismissing indigenous trust networks as primitive. A century later, It was those very primitive networks that enabled a financial revolution so profound, the colonizers' own system is now playing catch-up. So the map is not the territory. Kenya had a map labeled banking with branches, cards, and credit reports. Kenya's territory was a living ecosystem of social credit. M-Pesa worked because it drew a new map that finally matched the territory. The next revolution in AI, in governance, in climate tech won't be won by the best technology. It will be won by those who can see the ancient, invisible networks already humming beneath the surface, waiting for the right signal to amplify. The future is already here. It's just written in a language we've forgotten how to read.